Good afternoon, farmers. I know I need to get back on schedule where it's morning all the time, but it's September. We're kind of in a rush to get some things done here, so I'm trying to use up every minute of the day that I possibly can, but hopefully today I can get done somewhere at a reasonable hour. Yes, I'm harvesting the last field of peas. Just emptied out one combine load into our trailer, and right now I am hiring the last two workers for Old Wheatford, and then we're going to be all set to go there. And then maybe get them all four working up here. Maybe so. How are we doing up here so I know how much time I got? Oh, you're almost done there. And, well, you're just about done there. All right. I'll make one loop around this field, and then I'll get back to hiring some more workers. Yeah, so we're almost done Old Wheatford. It won't take us them too long down there because those fields are rather on the small side. So it shouldn't take them too long. I just double checked the price of the peas just to make sure because I reload the game from last week. And sometimes when I do that, I feel like... Oh, that's right. I already done one pass on this side. Yup. Sometimes when you reload the game, I find sometimes, very rarely, but once in a while, the prices will change at the market. But the price of peas is still $1,100. So this is going right to the store, right into our bank account. Watch the money go up as I also try to spend it at the same time as I'm doing. Hiring all these workers. But we got almost one corner of the map done. And then, of course, yeah, we'll have new fields. And then we'll have... Is that Peaksville over on the east side of the map? Is that Peaksville? Or is that Lakeside? Or... Oh, that guy... That is... well, that's Lakeside. And Peaksville. All right, so I had them both right. And then eventually we'll get him around all homeland. Wait, what? Where? Oh, okay. I was like, where's my worker? He's right there. I'm like, what happened to my worker? He was kind of buried there. Since I'm on here. No, I said, okay. I think we're all set. Like I said, I'll make a couple loops here, then we'll check on them. I'm not in that big a rush because I think we're fine on time because it's only September. It's Friday the 13th. All right, that's, so, oh yeah, all those noises. Yeah, so we'll get most of the fields done before the end of the year. I'm not too worried about it. I mean, we're getting a lot of the big fields done first, and the smaller fields, of course, will zip right through. And of course, eventually, I'll get to seeding some fields myself as well. So we'll have 5 people seeding fields at a time. So we can probably rip out 10 to 15 a day if I really were to push it. So I'm not too concerned at all on doing that. But I still have fields up here. I got to plow this field after I'm done harvesting it. I got to plow the field that's behind us and then cultivate them all. And then when it comes to fertilizing, yeah, the crop duster is going to be rather busy here for us. I'm not really looking forward to doing cow slurry and artificial fertilizer. I got over $5 million, so I'm not going to waste my time doing so. Besides, I think honestly, this is probably going to be the last season coming up. Meaning, when I plant this September, I'm not sure I'll get to next September on Farmers Dynasty. Just because of a few reasons. There's other games I would like to get playing. I've been playing this now for 2.5 years. Lumberjacks Dynasty, actually, as I'm recording this, it'll come out in a few days. I'm pre-recording this early because I'm anticipating Lumberjacks Dynasty. I think it comes out on the 30th of April. So you're seeing this on the 1st of May. So the game should have come out yesterday for early access. And I do believe, now don't hold me to this because I haven't done my research too well on this, but I thought I heard it was for PC only at this time. So yeah, if you're looking to get Lumberjacks Dynasty, it should be out. I do believe, and it's on Steam, I do believe. I just saw the post on their Discord channel last week, and I probably should have wrote down the date, so I'm just kind of winging it in my head. Hopefully my memory is not failing me just yet, but who knows. But anyways, so as for today, like I said, I want to harvest this field here, which we are doing. I think since my favorite tractor over there is already kind of next to a plow, or next to the plow, I should say, we'll go ahead and plow one of the fields, and then I want to start to get to cultivating one of the fields as well. So finish harvesting this field. Hopefully I can plow I guess it doesn't matter. I think both of these fields are roughly the same size. But for some reason, I want to plow the field next to Oliver's today. I don't know why. I just do. And then we'll get the cultivator out. Depending on the time, I may just do that small field over there. And then that will just leave me to cultivate and plow the other 3 fields. And we'll be done with everything except for seeding. Seeding and fertilizing. And at some point, I need to go home. Actually, I need to go to the greenhouses. Although all my greenhouses are kind of empty because I either forgot to plant in them or they disappeared. I'm not really sure which part of that happened. In other words, I need to do some gathering of the honey. I need to pick apples and then grab everything out of the pantry, head on up to the cooktop, cook everything that I can to the highest ranking cooking level there is, and then go up and see Rose and say, hey, hello, Rose. How much money you got? I don't think I'll sell as much as I did last year because last fall in September, I mean, I had a stockpile of seasons of food down in the pantry. It's only been 1 year here, and this year here, I think is the first season. Of course, it's been a while. This is the first season where I've actually just skipped weeks. I've never really skipped weeks up until this season, and I think this is my 5th or 6th season going on to our 6th or 7th season. So little Timmy should be 4 next year. And I think I was married for almost a year before she got pregnant and they fixed that. And I think it took me almost 2 years to get married. And if you're new to the game, you're probably wondering, why did it take you 2 years to get married? When the game first came out, it was extremely hard to get married. I mean, it was, it was one of those kind of things. Yeah, they eased up on that a little bit. And it was kind of funny because I was married for like a year, I think. And then she just, I don't know if I was doing something wrong. We just couldn't get, she couldn't get pregnant at all. And then one day she told me she was pregnant, and the very next day Timmy was here. It's like, oh, that was rather quick. So I'm not, yeah. So yeah, I was just trying to add up my head. I think I'm going on to my, I want to say sixth or 7th season. Because you do start in August, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you start in August, so we're in September, so we've completed 6 seasons, and this should be my 7th season. I think that scarecrow should just crumble on over and be chewed up by the combine. I should be able to fit the rest of this field into the combine because when I filled up the first time, the combine was completely full and I harvested like 47% of the field. So I should be able to sneak the whole field back into the combine. And then, bring the CX tractor on up to the market, which is right there. We'll sell our 22,000 liters, 22,000 kilograms of peas. So I should get pretty close to like $24,000 for harvesting this field. Man, that seems like a lot. I'm trying to remember how much this field cost me. And it's hard to say because back in the day, prices were pretty much set. And I didn't use my social points to buy, I only used social points to buy one thing. And we're riding in it. Everything else was done and paid for right through money. I saved all my social points to get that 1 million social point achievement, which took forever. But if you do jobs every day, and actually they made it a little bit easier because I think they added more social points to jobs when the game first came out. A lot of things changed since the game first came out, but that's what you get from early access. You learn things, they adjust things, and everything. Wow, this combine is looking rather filthy. Am I going to wash it when I go back? I may do so because this is going to be put away for the season. All right, let's go dump this into our trailer, and then I'll just drive the combine right on down to the farm. We'll wash it. The header will be parked in the field, but the combine will be parked, and the ducks and the geese can keep an eye on it through the winter. Let's not hit the pipe on any trees here. It's not good for the pipe. Now, I do say I would like to get to cultivating today, but I think once it gets dark... Now, what time is it now? Oh, it's already 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got a funny feeling once I get done moving everything around here and then jump into the FV tractor, I got a funny feeling I start plowing, get done, it's going to be nighttime. I may not get to cultivating any fields at all today, but I may just sneak in the small field just to make it feel like I've got one field complete. So I said about 22,000 liters. So I'm close enough. Alright, pipe in. Yeah, we'll wash the header as well. Not that the header really needs a good wash at all. But let's go ahead and put this away, and then we'll teleport back up here, grab our tractor trailer. Tractor and trailer. It's not a tractor trailer. Tractor and trailer. Quickly sell the grain, and then bring that on down, right? I don't need that for anything. I may need the trailer because we do have lupine back at the silo at the farm. Oh, why did you have to come around the corner? Yeah, I can just do this. Oliver won't mind. I can drive on his. Well, his lawn's technically inside the gate, so I don't think he's going to mind. Speaking of, hey Oliver. Well, that should be the header all cleaned up. Now, if I can just get the combine to trigger. I actually remembered this time that I could actually come on the outside of the gate area and get the trigger out back here. I'm trying to back... Oh, this is not a good view. I'm just hitting every camera clip angle that I can, making it more difficult for me to get the heck out of here. I don't care about the flowers back here. They're all dead. / withered. Yep, combine's looking good. Drop this off in the field and get up there and get back to work because nighttime is approaching and I would like to actually end this episode. So when we start next episode... No, I didn't want to jump out. I wanted to hit that button there. There we go. Yeah, I need to get back in the routine of starting the episode in the morning. Makes it all kind of weird. Feels weird saying good afternoon farmers or good evening farmers. I need to get back to a good morning. Now I want you to hop on out. Yep, hitting the wrong buttons. Getting all turned around here. And back on in. And close all the doors there. Making everyone dizzy. No, that's the wrong button for the wrong game as well. So 2 tractors done there. So let's go ahead. Canola there. Alright, You go ahead and sow canola there. And while you're doing that, by the time I jump up to here and grab my tractor and hitch onto there. Can I sneak between this tree and this bush? Sure can. Now I'll just hire one more worker up in new fields. I'm surprised the 2 workers down in Old Weekford aren't done yet, but I kind of forget that workers seem to be kind of slow working in fields. But you know what? Work is getting done and I'm not doing it, so I'm not going to complain too much. Alright, maybe I'll complain a little bit. Alright, that should be plenty of time there. Alright, so we go ahead and sow canola in that one. So we got 4 workers going again. And we'll earn ourselves a cool, like, $25,000 for doing this. Which will help pay for probably, like, 10 fields being sown. And, of course, we have a total of about 50-ish, somewhere around there. I just hope when the end of the year comes that we are over the $5 million mark. I think we might be. I think we're going to be okay in that sense because we already got, out of the 50 fields, I think we already got maybe like a dozen already taken care of. But then again, have you yet to fertilize anything? I got to replant my greenhouses. And I don't really have... Well, I got lupine still to sell, but not a whole lot. Just one of those things we'll have to wait and see. There's all the grain sold. At least for the peas. So the peas actually worked out rather well. I was actually kind of forgot about the peas down at the old Sawmill Hill. That definitely helped us get us over the $5 million mark. I'm going to go down and park this down at the farm. I'm not going to bother washing it because, well, it's not that dirty. And it's not my favorite tractor, so it can stay dirty. And then I'm going to jump back up here, hop in the FV tractor. Like I said, I think we're going to grab the plow. And like I said, plow the field across from Oliver's next. By the looks of the daylight, I think that's probably going to be the last thing I get to do today. I don't think I'll even get a chance to cultivate that. It may be dark by the time I finish plowing that field right over there. Yeah, I just checked the time. It is now 5:45. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to... yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit dark when I finish this field, I would think. This tractor does rather well with plowing, but it doesn't do that well. I just hired a worker from... Well, I don't want to say I've hired him from... but one of the workers on Old Wheatford are done. So we just got that one field to finish up. So now we got 3 workers in new fields going to town. And of course, you know, maybe starting tomorrow, I'll just have 3 workers up there. And I'll probably just spend a little time keep hiring a crop duster. And then I can just say, well, okay, Old Wheatford's done. I don't have to worry about that anymore. We'll just have to double check everything. Before I sow the fields, I'm just double checking because, man, I had a hard time. It seemed like in the summer keeping track of what fields I plowed and cultivated and whatnot. So before I sow every field, I'm trying to remember to look to make sure it's been plowed and cultivated first. Trying to get the premium yield for next spring. Because wouldn't that be great if I can get over, $7 million in the bank account at the end of the harvest? I think that's pushing it because we didn't do that well last year. Well, I mean, we did rather well with all the fields that we have. Meaning, I thought we would get like a $2 million yield and didn't quite get there. So I guess it all depends on the price on that day that we're harvesting. So I may take it a little bit slow in the spring. Like I say that. But when spring comes, I may just say, the heck with it. We'll harvest everything. And yeah, really, don't hold me to this. I probably shouldn't be saying this at all. But I think after we finish the harvest next spring, we might wrap up a day on the farm here. But that doesn't mean that's not going to be anytime soon because we got a long ways to go before we get there. We got a lot of work still to do here in the fall. And then, of course, when spring comes, we're going to have 50 some odd fields to harvest. But that's all we might be doing is just harvesting them, and that's it. By then, little Timmy should... I expect Timmy to be out of the crib next season. If Timmy's out of the cribs next year, I'm not really sure what's going on there because I thought he was 4 this year. And, well, he's still in the crib, so I'm not... Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I know, I don't know the age of my own son. But you know, I don't have a calendar in front of me. Not really sure. I tried to ask the wife, but she just thinks we need a mall or 2 around here. Yep, I'm thinking definitely after we finish plowing this field, I'm not going to really get to cultivate anything else. I probably should get a good night's sleep because the night before last, we went to bed at... Actually, it wasn't that late. I think it was like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Something like that. Not like the old days where I used to work until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. A few times until 5 o'clock in the morning. And those were the days where I was doing... when I first started, there was no workers. So the first thing I would do every day to get the social points and the cash was I would do all 4 social jobs that were available. And sometimes that could take all day. If you had 4 plow jobs to do, that would take quite a bit all day long. And then try to get some work done in the fields that I had. And then when the workers came along, it made it a little bit easier. But we're almost all set here. Harvesting is done for the season, which is good. Yes, plow 2 more fields. And then cultivate 4 more fields. And then, of course, seed how many are left at that point. Probably by the time I get done cultivating all these fields, I'm going to guess that we're going to have the workers should be like halfway through the field, so we probably have like 25 fields left to seed at that point. Maybe even fewer than that, because like I said, I'm trying to hit the bigger fields first. So when they get done and then we start hitting the smaller fields, it's going to go by a little bit quicker. The nighttime ambient sounds have kicked in. I'm hearing crickets. And of course it's getting darker, which means it's roughly 7 o'clock in the evening. Yeah, I'm not going to get done here for like a couple more hours in game time. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be cultivating any fields this evening. So hopefully tomorrow, if I get up bright and early, which is always 6 o'clock, yeah, I just got to have 1 more field to plow. I think what I might do is break it up. I may start cultivating a few fields first. Probably the 2 fields, small field right across the way there. I think I parked the cultivator over there somewhere. And then the 2 hectare size field, then I'll grab the plow and plow the field behind us that we just harvested. Kind of mix up a little bit. So I'm thinking 2 more days here working on these 4 fields to get them ready for seeding. And I don't know how much canola I have in storage, so I may have to go buy some. But I think before I get to seeding, I'm going to go ahead and make sure all the greenhouses are cleaned out. And we'll do the cooking and go up and see Rose and take care of all that fun stuff first. We'll let the workers do a lot of the seeding for us if I can, because that just eliminates trips of me going back and forth all the time. Not that I'd mind it, but you know, I'm at the point and I got the cash where it's like, you know, work smarter, not harder. So why not hire someone else to do all the work for me sometimes? It's not like I won't be doing anything. I'll still be doing work. Some form of work. I'm just not sitting on the bench down by Rex and passing time with him. I do have to remember though, well, I guess I could. I was thinking about don't take the fish out of the pantry and cook with it. I don't know how many fish I got down there. Yep, many. Just because I was thinking, well, James needs fish. But I mean, it's not that hard to go to the dock and catch a fish and go, here you go, James. I do find it kind of odd that for some reason the plow does not seem to get as dirty as it should, since it's, well, constantly in the dirt. Always seems to be a lot cleaner than the tractor itself. But I am about 60% done with the field, and yeah, it's like 20 past 8 in the evening, so yep, taking me just a little bit longer than I thought. Moving tractors and equipment around the farm and the fields does take a little bit of time, as it should, but boy, it seems like it eats up more time than you would think sometimes. And I think, even though I do like this color of orange, I think when I get done plowing the field tomorrow, and I bring the plow back to the farm and park it in our parking lot, I may go ahead and change the color of the tractor just to mix it on up. What color will it be? I have no idea. When it comes to me and coloring my equipment, I just go until I get to the garage and play with the slide bars a little bit, and then whatever seems to catch my eye at the time. And it may even be like a disgusting color, and be like, you know what, I'm going to run with that color just because. I don't know. I'm actually thinking about trying an all white tractor. I'm not sure how that would look, to be honest. I've never been one for white farming equipment, but I've tried it a couple times in some of my farming simulator videos, and I looked at some white tractors and mixed up with, you know, too bad we can't change the color of the rims compared to the cab in Farmer's Dynasty, but in Farming Simulator, when I would be able to do that, you know, paint the cab like white and paint the rims like a different color. It's like, you know what, a white tractor is not that bad. Now, would I want a white tractor in real life? Heck no. Man. 2 seconds out in the field, one little speck of dirt gets on there, you're going to see it. How we doing on time? Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. It's, time's going on. How we doing with workers? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, still got 4 workers going. I should double check before I go to bed. Although it doesn't matter because when you sleep through the night, the workers don't actually go like at, 20 times the speed. But it feels good to get one town done in Wheatford. And really the way it's going, it's not going to be too long for us to get done in new fields. Don't have that many fields up there. And it's not going to take us long in Peaksville and Lakeside either. Between Peaksville and Lakeside, I think there's only 10 fields. Although the fields in Peaksville, like 3 or 4 of them are over 3 hectares. So we'll take them just a little bit longer. And most of the fields around the farm are... There's one field that's 3.15. I think I remember that one correctly. And most of the other fields are pretty much 2.25 hectares and under. How we doing in this field? 80% done. Yep, I guess I was a dreamer trying to think I can get some other field work done today. And it shouldn't take me too long to cultivate these fields. When I do plow, I try to keep avoiding from making sharp corners with the plow and whatnot. When it comes to the cultivator, it's just making laps. Making laps where you can. Goes by a little bit quicker. And plus, I think overall the width of the implement is just a little bit wider than the plow itself. Well, what I really love, and I'm not sure if it's at all in the works, I've talked about many times, is that cultivator and the seed drill should, in real life, hook up together. That would save a lot of time on the farm, be able to run a cultivator before the seed drill. Just make life a little bit easier on the farm. Not that it's really difficult, but definitely does save on some time if you can eliminate one job less you have to do in a field when you can do 2 in one pass. %? Oh, 90%. Yeah. I'll eat before I go to bed. Don't worry about it. It's all good around here. I usually try to avoid working at night because sometimes it can get a little difficult to see what you're doing. Especially if you're seeding, it can get kind of difficult to see what you're doing. Plowing and cultivating is not as difficult. And sometimes leaving the lights off, not really. Not at the moment, but I think later on in the evening hours, well, I shouldn't say evening hours, in the middle of the night, like at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes I found it was easier working in the field with the lights off. Once in a blue moon. Yeah. We know we're hungry. I got about 8 more meals in my pocket, or 6 more, or whatever it is. And after I go up and see Rose, I may not have any meals left. I'll be back to eating Italian tomato soup, or whatever heck it was. Although the funny thing is, I say that, of course, when I first started out, if you've been here long enough on the channel, yeah, we used to eat eggs all the time. And oddly enough, on my Let's Play on No Man's Land for Farming Simulator, I'm down to eating eggs all the time. In a roleplay scenario. Alright, can I get this done in 2 passes? Should be able to. Will be kind of weird, honestly, next season if little Timmy decides to come out of the crib to see him around the farm and not in the crib. I guess he'll be in another bed. I've never really gone and watched other videos or seen pictures of where they sleep and all that. And trying to keep it a secret. You're going to stop there? All right. But trying to keep it a secret to myself, so when it happens, I'm kind of like seeing it for the first time. All right, I'll put the plow down. Turn the lights off. I will double check on workers 3. So let me just double check together with you guys. Let's see, we got plowed cultivated canola. Just making sure everything's on the up and up down there. Not that if I got canola and I forgot to plow and cultivate it, I'd be like, yeah, let's start all over with that field. I'd be like, nah. Yep. Everything looks good here. Alright, so I'll hire a 4th worker again for up here. Canola. No. And at some point, I know I'm going to get done with a certain section, I'll go ahead and get a worker to... Yeah, let me go ahead and eat because I can't run worth a darn. I got 7 of them left. There we go. I know I'm going to get done seeding a certain section. I'll go ahead and hire a crop duster, but let's be honest, a crop duster is not going to go out at, well, we'll just say 10 o'clock at night and start crop dusting some ground. So maybe once I get done with new fields, I'll start hiring a crop duster for both sections. I'll work my way from Old Wheatford to new fields, and the 3 other workers will be over. Why am I pointing at the screen? Like you can see me pointing on the map where I'm going. They'll be down in Old Peaksville. I'll send them to Peaksville because those fields are rather a decent size, and they can get done doing that while the crop duster's going along there, and he can catch up. I think I did check for honey in last episode, which is the same current day that we have here. I just want to double check on Rex. Oh, excuse me, James. James is doing fine. Yeah, Rex has been stuck down by the fireplace for ages. And I don't think he's going anywhere. Poor little fella. Let's go ahead and grab a seat. I'll gain some sleep back, and the time's going to advance a little fast. So not bad for Friday the 13th. We got a lot of cash. We're over $5 million from last episode to this one. Same in-game day. So yeah, we reached $5 million, I believe, on Friday the 13th. And we're getting a lot of work done. And we're done harvesting. We're almost done plowing. That'll be next episode. We'll get the plow out, finish that field, repaint the tractor. I may go white just because. Why not? It may look kind of stupid, but if it's stupid, I sometimes go with it. And then we'll get to cultivating at some point, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we get the rest of all those fields done. Am I going to get done in one day? Probably not. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always, and I'll catch you next time right here on The Day on the Farm. But until then, have a good one. Oh, wow, it's past midnight. The wife is going to be a little upset again.